Good evening and welcome to the Twiggs County Board of Education meeting. Thank you to our in-person and online communities and stakeholders for joining us this evening. It is my pleasure to call the Twiggs County Board of Education meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, March 8th, 2022. The time is now 6:04 p.m. May we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pause for a moment of silence. Tonight, as we pause for a moment of silence, I want us to keep the families and the friends of our lost student, Twiggs County 2021 graduate, in our prayers, and the families and the friends who are associated. Pray for our district and pray for our children all across the county. Amen. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting.
So moved.
Motion been properly made by Madam District 12 State Delegate Representative Ms. Teresa Blackshear. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Rhonda King. Any discussion? No discussion. I know you by saying aye. Raising your hand if you approve the motion. Again, that motion is to approve tonight's agenda. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposes? No opposed. That motion carries unanimously. Now that we've accepted our agenda for tonight's meeting, I ask that this time if you would take about 2 minutes to review our minutes from our February 22nd BOE regular session meeting. Board members, now that you have an opportunity to review the minutes from the February 22nd BOE regular session meeting, what do I hear?
I move that motion to approve the minutes for February 22nd, 2022 board regular session.
Motion has been properly made by Ms. Blackshear. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Stokes. Any discussion? No discussion. I know you by saying aye. Raising your hand if you approve this motion. Aye. Any opposes? No opposes. That motion carries unanimously. At this time, I ask Ms. Teresa Blackshear to deliver us an ethics statement.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
In accordance with regulations set forth by the Georgia Ethics Commission, it is the duty of every board member to avoid both conflict of interest and interest of such conflict. Does any board member have any known conflict of interest scheduled before us or appearing on our proposed agenda? Seeing none, Mr. Chair, we will proceed with our agenda.
Thank you, Madam Blackshear. At this time, I'll ask any board members, do they have any comments to present to our stakeholders in our district this evening? Seeing none, Dr. Bullard for superintendent comments and remarks.
Good evening, Board Chair Harris,
Proceed.
Vice Chair Rouse, board members, all of our parents, students, family members, community members that are present with us tonight, and those that are with us virtually. I bid you all good evening. It's a wonderful evening in Twiggs County on tonight, as evidenced by all of the fantastic scholars that are in the room tonight that are preparing to be acknowledged. I do want to make sure that the parents and our community know, I want to remind you of our district calendar this week. This Friday is a half day for our scholars, full day for our staff. Our staff will be working on completing their third 9-week grades and all of the responsibilities for closing another 9 weeks. So family members, please prepare to have supervision for your children at home at 12 o'clock noon, and that's this coming Friday. And I also want to take the opportunity to celebrate and give a certificate of excellence. And if he is in the room, I'm not sure if I see him yet, Mr. Zaquadre Coley. Are you in the room? All right, awesome. Come on up, Zaquadre. You can stand right here, Zaquadre, and face that way. Good to see you. Let me say, turn that way. Mr. Zaquadre Coley was our school district spelling bee winner. He's in the 8th grade at Twiggs County Middle High School. And Zaquadre went on to the region and placed second in the 2021-2022 regional spelling bee. And now he will be going on later this March, I think on the 18th, to compete in the state spelling bee at Georgia State University. And let's give him some support by giving him an applause and root him on to win the state spelling bee at Georgia State University this March the 18th. Congratulations, Zaquadre. We support you, your county supports you, and we are awesomely proud of it. Awesome. Is his parents or family members here? Come on up. We want to get you a picture to keep this in your memories. Awesome. Board Chair, would you mind coming and being photographed with them? Where's your head? Dry Branch. Stand up there with me. She lives in Dry Branch, so we're going to let her representative from Dry Branch take a picture with her. How about that? All right, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, that concludes my superintendent remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Bullock. No other comments or concerns before we enter into our swift business agenda for tonight. I'll proceed with business agenda item A, Star Student Recognition. This is why the room is so full. Information item, Mr. Erade Perry. Good evening, Mr. Perry.
Good evening, Superintendent Dr. Bullard, Chair Harris, Vice Chair Rouse, board members. Tonight, I will be discussing with you Twiggs County Star Student, as well as our Star Teacher recognition. First, we must discuss our vision. Twiggs County vision is generating excellence, one team, one goal. Our mission, the mission of Twiggs County Public Schools, is to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. What is a STAR student? The Page Student Teacher Achievement Recognition STAR program honors Georgia's highest achieving high school senior and the teacher who has been the most instrumental in their academic development. To obtain the STAR nomination, high school students must have the highest score on any single test, date of the SAT taken through November, test date of their senior year, and be in the top 10% or the top 10 students of their graduating class based on their grade point average. This year, for Twiggs County High School, our STAR student for 2022 is no other than Mr. Marcus Sanford. Marcus. Marcus has earned an 1160 on the SAT test. Marcus is the son of Mr. Mark and Mrs. Andrea Sanford. He is a student athlete, a role model, and a leader. He is a member of the varsity basketball team as well as the track team and baseball team. Marcus is an undergraduate and an active member of FBLA and FCCLA, and after graduation, he plans to attend college and major in computer engineering. And now, we will move to introduce the star teacher chosen by Marcus Sanford as an impactful educator in his high school career. Twiggs County High School's 2022 star teacher is none other than Miss Andrea Denson. Mrs. Denson is Marcus' FBLA advisor, the work-based learning coordinator, and business technology teacher. Ms. Denson is a 2007 graduate of Payne College, where she received her Bachelor's of Science degree in mathematics. She earned her Master's in Educational Leadership from Columbus State University. This year marks her 15th year in education and her 9th year with Twiggs County Public School System. Ms. Denson cares about her students and their well-being and is uncompromising in her quest for quality education opportunity for all young people. At this time, would Mr. and Mrs. Sanford and family please come up and let's take a picture. And anyone else who wants to join in the picture. All right, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you.
And Dr. Bullitt, I'll step out of my lane and into yours just for a second. I want you to take a picture with the family before they leave tonight, so that will extend their stay. Thank you. All right, thank you. Can we give another round of applause for our star student and our star teacher 2022, Mr. Sanford and Ms. All right. And if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Bullitt, we don't have a star student every year. So it is good to have that celebration in our district. Thank you for those of you who made this possible. And that's the student who did the work and the parents who pushed. So thank you. We want to keep these celebrations. Moving along to business agenda item B, Young Georgia Author Winners. This is an information item being presented by Dr. Griffin Stewart, our Young Georgia Authors Winners. Good evening, Dr. Griffin Stewart. Good to see you.
Good evening, Board Chair Harris,
Proceed.
Vice Chair Routes, board members, Superintendent Dr. Mac Bullard, all of our parents, students, and all families, welcome in person as well as virtually. It brings me great pleasure to recognize our Young Georgia Author students who participated at the school level. But before I share those winners, let me tell you what the purpose of the Young Georgia Authors Competition is all about. It's a writing competition. It encouraged students to develop enthusiasm for and expertise in their writing, to provide a context to celebrate their writing successes, and to recognize student achievement in arts and academics. This prestigious competition has been engaging Georgia students for more than 2 decades and is open to any student currently enrolled in Georgia public schools, grades K through 12. The competition is sponsored by the Georgia Language Arts Supervisors, GLAS, and the Georgia RESA Network with the support from the Georgia Department of Education. Our students had an opportunity to compete K-12, and once they submitted their writing samples, we had a team of teachers and administrators to rate those samples And from that, we have a first, second, and third place winner for the Young Georgia Authors. We have recognized our students in second and third place at the school level, and now we're excited tonight to recognize our first place winners in our school competition. So without further ado, students, when you hear your name called, please come forward to be recognized. Our kindergarten student is Caden Simmons. And the title of his work is My Dream. First grade is Trey Pearson, and the title of his work is Jack, Sam, and Cameron. Our second place winner is Mackenzie Harris, the Time Traveling Tiger. Our third place winner is Naya Morton, Leo's Mystery. Our fourth place winner is Lily Epps, the Lost Tigers. Fifth grade, Alani Green, How I Missed the Bus. Sixth grade, Etavius Marable, Fortnite. Seventh grade, Caitlin Lowy, Mellow Yellow, Hello World. Eighth grade, Jada Pearson, the survivor of the kidnapping. Ninth grade, Xavier Sampson, a talented young man's deepest fear is holding his life back. 10th grade, William Barron, character analysis of Arthur Dimsdale. Our 11th grader, Kiwana Tharp, Feelings. All right, Ms. Tharp. And lastly, our senior, Catherine McKee, Jade Eyes. Let's give our scholars another round of applause for their great accomplishments. Congratulations. Congratulations to our students. Mackenzie Harris, if you would stay. So let me tell you a little bit about our second grader, Mackenzie Harris. When we took our writing samples to the Middle Georgia RESA, they have a competition from various districts throughout this area, and they rate our writings to move to the next level. And so she moved to advance to the state level. And so we want to recognize Mackenzie for moving on to the state level. So Mackenzie, we know that you're moving on, and we know that we're going to be victorious. So keep writing and keep loving writing. And parents, I want to thank you for your support with our Young Georgia authors, our star student, our spelling bee, Mr. Coley, because without you, this would not be possible. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Dr. Griffin Stewart, before we move on, I want to acknowledge all of those writers. Job well done. And not to pick on anyone, but I'll tell this short story. Is I was talking to one of the teachers, administrators at the schools, and I heard that one of the students wrote the essay the day that it was due and then placed. Student, raise your hand. Just imagine if that same student would have put forth the effort to prepare. If we encourage our scholars to do the work and prepare for these opportunities, they can go anywhere from Tweeds County. So let's continue to press them to prepare, to do the work behind the scenes before there's a celebration. Celebrations are great, and we'll continue to do those. But encourage them to do the work. When we have to press and prime at the building level for them to submit things, it's hard because teachers have multiple students. Classrooms are filled to capacity. Administrators are overwhelmed. Press and push your students at home. I didn't know it was going on. Well, did you look at the website? Did you call the school? When the last time you showed up? Yes, I can say this candidly. It's the election time and it's okay. But I mean that. Be a parent. Push and prime your students to be successful at home so that they come to school to want to go the extra mile and teachers don't have to beg them for opportunities like this. Thank you. All right.
All right. Well, amen.
Business agenda item C, the Vision Board Challenge Project. Information item being presented again by Dr. Griffin Stewart.
The Vision Board Challenge, but before I can share, Vice Chair Rouse, Board Chair, Superintendent Bullard, our board members, parents, and students, it brings me great pleasure to share this information on the Vision Board project. But before I can share this information, I must let you know that we are a district with a vision, generating excellence, one team, one goal. Our mission is to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. So without a vision, with a vision, students thrive. Every student succeeds at advances that all students be taught to high academic standards that will prepare them to succeed in college and careers. One of the most impactful investments the Tweeds County School District can make is provide opportunities for students to create a personalized digital vision board that promotes academic, social, and emotional wellness. Not only vision boarding, but this opportunity allows students to engage in virtual reality, VR, experiences designed to promote workforce development while exposing students to career possibilities beyond the typical experiences. Now, this experience will be provided for our rising seniors who are currently 11th graders. So why 11th grade? Determines class rank, ACT and SAT scores start to become recognized. Colleges look at your grades before admission, opportunity to prepare for a successful 12th grade experience, opportunity to prepare for life after graduation, opportunity to introduce students to virtual reality, VR, because it's all about inspiring, challenging, and preparing students to compete globally. So what you're going to see next is a visual, and this visual is of the Vision Challenge, a step-by-step vision board guide for youth and young adults. So what all future seniors will receive is a copy of this consumable guide that they will use throughout the Vision Board Challenge. But they will also be engaged in virtual reality, and those are the VR goggles that you will have a chance to experience as if students were experiencing it. The scope of work. The Vision Challenge will provide vision boarding and virtual reality experiences that encourages self-awareness, student ownership, resilience, as well as critical and creative thinking. Each workshop is designed to help students achieve by setting goals using the 8 dimensions of wellness. What are those 8 dimensions of wellness? It's physical, intellectual, academic, emotional, social, financial, occupational, career, environmental, and spiritual. What will be included in this senior experience? Well, they will go through challenges. And challenge 1 will be all about the labels and lids. So students will work through any labels that they have been called or they've been learned over the years, and then how do you remove that lid? The 8 dimensions of wellness, students will have a chance to go through and define those 8 dimensions of wellness, because they will have to select 4 out of those 8 dimensions to create their vision board. Then they'll start actually creating their vision board. They'll have an opportunity after they've worked on their digital board to show and tell. So it will be an opportunity for those seniors to come together and show their goals and what they want to do in the future. They'll execute in excellence, and the vision board template and vision board challenge recap will be provided, and then we'll move to super challenges, because they'll start with challenges first, and then super challenges will move to the next school year. So you have a visual in front of you. This is a virtual field trip, and so I'm not going to show it because it's 17 minutes, but you do have the website that you can look at it, okay? But what's happening here? It's a virtual field trip, and it's Black History Month. Through virtual reality, students are able to access virtual field trips and experience conversations like the one captured in this clip. If you go to the next, you will see some images, and students are also able to engage in learning experiences that include like dinosaurs, foreign language, and many other topics. So that video link has been provided for you. So let's keep moving. With a vision, this student is thriving. And as you can see, this student went through the Vision Board Challenge, and this student wants to become a teacher and a basketball coach. He said, I am becoming a math teacher and a basketball coach. With this student, you can see that after learning about those 8 dimensions, he created a digital board that was around life goals, financial goals, academic goals, and family goals. So that was the board that he created. So let's fast forward to 2020. This student is currently at Georgia Southern University, and what's so unique about this student is he was recognized as Student of the Semester for his work ethic and just his focus when he went to college. And he participated in the Vision Board project, and when he was a part of it, he also served in a focus group. In that focus group, he knew that he would be tracked when he went off to college to see, will he stay focused on his vision that he created. But what I would like to see for our students, while we see this student here, I would like for us to have our own Twiggs County graduate featured in the future, so we can see, because we want to see what's going on with our students once they graduate and leave us, because it's about graduating from college, going in the military, or being ready to go to work. Either one of those options is what our students need. Some courses available through the virtual reality, the VR, is HVAC, electrical, safety, plumbing. But what I want to be able to show you on our next one is what will students actually be engaged in. So Mr. Basley is going to show a link. It's about a good 3 minutes, but I want you to be able to see what is the future for our students, because right now we're teaching students about their future and not our past. And so I want us to just take a look at this virtual reality. tell you what's going on, what students would experience. They will put on the VR goggles, and as you can see, this is a plumbing experience for students. Let's say if you had someone who wanted to be a plumber or work in the plumbing field. So as you can see, it's guiding them through an actual simulation of fixing a sink. So it will guide them step by step. And so that would be their experience. And how do you go through if someone calls you to fix a problem with a sink? And so it'll give them step-by-step directions on what they should do. So one is there a leak under the sink? No. So they'll ask them a series of questions. They will provide all the supplies needed for students to actually assimilate their experience. As you can see, there's a plunger there. And so students will actually be able to put those goggles on, and they would work as if they were actually on a job assignment going through those experiences. And so I wish you could see it, but you see it without sound. And so as you can see without sound, the teacher is guiding the lesson, showing how to fix the sink using the directions. So what I want you to know is that this is the wave of the future for students. We didn't experience that, but what I can tell you is an additional component is the Hilton is one of the largest hospitality companies, and they use Oculus. It's a VR to enhance their training and development. Through VR, they are able to role play with virtual guests to proactively solve problems. So again, we want to provide opportunities for our students, so we are preparing them for the future. Our superintendent has charged us to give our students multiple opportunities. So this would be a great opportunity for our future seniors to go through the Vision Board Challenge, as well as experience the virtual reality opportunity. Now, I didn't give the video any justice, but I want to just kind of give you a summary of what's going on in the video. So once they complete all the steps and successfully complete the task, then they're done, but it gives them experience with various job opportunities. So, what will the projected cost for this project be? We will order the Vision Board Challenge books. We will need 50 books, and we will get a 10% discount on those books, which will be $540. The consultant services, because the author herself will take students through this experience. And as you can see, the actual cost is $3,000. The consultant's discount is $1,500. Consultant services, again, because they will have an experience of 3 opportunities that they could participate. So as you can see, that will be $1,500 again. And then their last experience will be consultant services and the virtual reality, so they will have a chance to practice and actually experience the VR goggles. So without a vision, students are likely to squander their time, talents, energy, and attention. However, with a vision, students thrive in their academics, social emotional lives, and ultimately in life beyond high school. So what I've provided you also, board members, you have a folder, and what's in the folder is the Vision Board Challenge, the work experience of Dr. Coombs. So when you go to executive session, you will be able to view the work being done by this particular author and consultant. Are there any questions?
Yes, I would like to go back to the authors. Do you have a copy of those stories that the students wrote?
We do. We made a copy of each one.
May I have a copy of it?
You sure can.
Later, if not.
Okay, no problem. So you want a copy of all of them?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am, I love to read.
Yeah, we have a copy of K through 12. All of our first place winners, second place, and third place.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Any other questions? Okay.
Dr. Griffin Stewart, we must have missed you. We didn't have you on the agenda for maybe 2 or 3 months, and Dr. Bullock heavy loaded you tonight, but
Yes, I met this evening.
it's good to see you.
You too.
Thank you for a well-delivered presentation, and we'll further discuss. Looks like a great opportunity, so thank you. Business agenda item D. This is a fully engaged consulting support information item being presented once again by Dr. Griffin Stewart.
So again, Chair Harris, Vice Chair Rouse, board members, Superintendent Dr. Matt Bullard, our parents, students, staff members, welcome, and to all of our listeners virtually. It brings me pleasure to present this information item on fully engaged education consulting. But before I can share this information with you, I'm excited to share that we are a district with a vision and a mission. Our vision is generating excellence, one team, one goal. Our mission is to inspire, challenge, and prepare students to compete globally. The fully engaged education consulting and resource. What I'm going to do for you first is build some context about who is fully engaged education consulting. So this consulting opportunity is all about igniting the fire and sustaining the flame of achievement. The purpose. Fully Engaged is an educational consulting company that was developed via a passion and purpose to allow all students, teachers, schools, and districts to experience success by focusing on 5 areas or flames that ignite achievement. Focus on P for policy, understanding our federal, SEAs, LEAs, and school policy. Process, utilizing efficient processes. Practice, implementing quality instructional practices. Performance, identifying and assessing student performance. And lastly, partnerships, develop stakeholder partnerships. The foundation for Fully Engaged has been built around research of Bussey, Welch, and Muhammad entitled Effective Consultants. It's a conceptual framework for helping school systems achieve systemic reform. The Fully Engaged belief stands firmly on the belief that all students can achieve, all teachers can be high quality, and all leaders can be effective, and all schools and school districts can experience success. The Fully Engaged effectiveness is a research and driven service. Therefore, the work between FE and its partner has shown to be effective with the following factors: trusted and balanced relationships, open and honest communication, realistic outcome, strategic scope and planning, clarify the role, define direction, cement trust with the team, clear and specific feedback, sufficient time, human capital, and capacity. What's the provision of Fully Engaged? With established improvements or goals, Fully Engaged incorporates into your mission, vision by providing a service that is sound and relevant, evidence-based, realistic, individualized, and professional. As you can see, the Fully Engaged model for achievement is a recursive process. And as you see, planning is the connection in the middle because that's where it starts for students. We're creating assessments, providing direct instruction, model guided instruction, and student practice. So what's great about this model of achievement is that it is done on the school level, at the leadership level, and also the district level. The FE stance on successful partnerships. School systems that are successful clients and consulting partnerships know that front-end time is needed to build constituencies committed to the goals and process of change. And so they plan for and take that time. This need for more necessities leadership stability to provide steady guidance to the work of a partnership over time. The commitment from Fully Engaged is committed to identifying barriers and creating avenues with clarity to establish realistic and obtainable expectations that strengthen key learning skills, instructional effectiveness, increases accountability, establishes community, and promote increased student achievement. The average consultant rates. On average, hourly rates for educational consultants range between $100 and $500. Many consultants prefer to work on a retainer basis. Alternately, they might charge a flat Project rate of $1,000 to $10,000 per consult. Educational consulting fees are dependent upon the scope of work, the depth of work and knowledge, and the intellectual property utilized in the work, the years of experience, the consultant's experience or evidence of work, size of company, and travel. The fully engaged rates. It's very important that we know that research has been done about the rates for a consultant. So fully engaged provides rates that are extremely competitive for the services offered. The focus for creating such competitive rates is to be intentional about driving improvement by allowing clients to take full advantage of allocations and budgets that focus on teacher capacity and student growth that lead to achievement. What kind of work are we thinking about entering with fully engaged? The level of interaction. Service level, expert consulting. This level provides information to a client or solves a problem on the client's behalf. Recommendations under this model is 1 to 2 consults a month at $1,750 per consult, working at one level with one point of contact. This model is suggested for minimal needs or quick fixes. The level of interaction, integral level management consulting. This is a deeper level of partnership, of partner interactions. Turner's hierarchy of management consulting recognizes 3 interactions, which categorizes the most ambitious levels of management consulting: working to build consensus and commitment around corrective action, facilitating client learning, and working to permanently improve organizational effectiveness. The recommendations under this model is 3 to 5 consults a month, $1,750 per consult. And this management consultant will work among all levels. That will be teacher, school, and district, development of multiple relationships, suggested for significant change and sustained improvements. Now, Dr. Christopher Holmes, who is the lead consultant on Fully Engaged. He had a chance to visit our district back around Christmas time. He had a chance to visit every classroom, and he also had a chance to survey teachers. And so what you see is survey data collected December 2021, and that data collected was all about asking teachers, if you could receive support right now, where would you want your support? I want you to focus your eyes on the goal areas. So we had 21 of our teachers to take the survey, and teachers wanted to focus on learning, student awareness of learning to meet their needs at 26.3%, developing awareness of standards at 15.8%, use of academic language, students and teachers at 15.8%, and then also the blue, scaffolding learning, use of models and examples to increase rigor at 10.5%, and lastly, building relationships. So those were the areas that some of our teachers spoke of that they would like support in if they could get support right now. Deliverable services for the Twiggs County Public Schools. In partnership, services will be provided throughout the Twiggs County Public Schools to support the mission and vision of the district. Services will support the instructional plan for effective school instruction by the Georgia DOE by having a focus on the district's role in the following areas: curriculum analysis, assessment development, instruction and planning, strategy implementation, needs-based interventions, and lastly, monitoring. Deliverable services for our district. All services will be intentionally and strategically delivered to offer evidence-based competencies which foster cultural behaviors that are standards-focused, rigorous, student-centered, engaging, and data-driven. The intent of service is to support teachers and leaders to perform at high levels with fidelity. The work of Fully Engaged will focus on the whole child with a pervasive focus on literacy and math throughout all content areas. And the approach to service. An appropriate, relevant, and current knowledge and mastery approach will be used to introduce and model learning that specifically addresses access and performance for all students, but specifically those targeted subgroups that have demonstrated learning gaps. Fully engaged in district leadership will monitor and measure the LEA and the school's implementation of practice to determine next steps and potential interventions. And LEA is local education agency. So the deliverable of services. Deliverables will include resource development, monitoring tools, professional development, coaching, virtual webinars, presentations, exemplar videos, observations, modeling, scenario-based learning, and timely feedback. So if you look on the last slide, the last page, is the suggested costs, and these are just recommendations for you to think about. But if we did 2 school visits a month, we see that would be $3,500. 3 visits a month would each equal $5,250. And then the preferred plan, which would be 4 visits a month, would be $7,000. And let me say with the 4 visits a month, I want you to think about a tiered approach, because this person could start at 4, then we move it down to 3, and then we move it down to 2. It's just based on the scope of our work. So you have a folder, and in this folder, I added some additional information about the consultant's background. So in your folder, you will see a bio, and then just the background experience. You will also see Fully Engaged, the current partnerships that Fully Engaged is actually working with right now. But what I want you to pay attention to is the scope of work, because I've almost been here for a year in teaching and learning. I've had an opportunity to do multiple observations. I've had an opportunity to work with great leaders and teachers. And what I can tell you at this point, we have great teachers. We have great leaders. It's all about building teacher and leader capacity. That's what it's about, because I have only a couple of years before I can retire. But what I want to be able to do is develop teachers and leaders that when we get ready to pass the baton back, they can take on leadership roles. So that's the goal. And so our first scope of the work that I want you to know just from my end, what will we do? What will be our first charge? Fully Engaged Consulting will support tiered school improvement work for the Twiggs County School District in the following improvement areas. A Twiggs County team of teachers and leaders will support the work of developing pacing guides for 9th through 12th grades, ELA and math courses. It is critical that teachers and leaders are a part of developing this work so the teacher and leader capacity can be developed and the work can be sustained, because it's about sustainability. The work will start with 2 Saturdays in April, where the process of developing pacing guides will be led by the consultant, but team members will aim to complete high school math and ELA pacing guides for the first semester. The team will continue the process in June as needed. In June, what will we do? Once we have those pacing guides in draft form, we will share it with teachers for feedback before we move to actual publishing those. Because it's very important. The goal is to create a pacing guide, because when we think about our teacher base, we have non-traditional, waiver, and new teachers. And so we've got to provide them resources and support where they can have it at their fingertips and have a resource that they can use that's very easy. So the next level of work, once we work on those pacing guides, will be to finish our strategic plan and to make sure our work is aligned with our strategic plan. And then evidence-based on teacher keys evaluation results, we will look at those results from teachers and what interventions and supports will be needed based on TEKS for our teachers. Milestones data will be used to identify students underperforming, and professional development for teachers based on prioritized areas identified from the teacher survey, and work on embedding literacy strategies across all content areas. So board members, I know that I've shared a wealth of information with you in a short period of time, but I do want you to take a look at this information again, along with the additional documents that I provided. So, do you have any questions at this time?
I do.
Proceed.
I know on the making a vision reality on the first presentation, we have consultant services here. What's the difference in this one? Are they gonna?
It's two different people.
Yeah,
it's 2 different people.
So it's gonna be a consultant services here that we're gonna be paying, and then this is gonna be a totally different.
Correct.
Consultant service.
Correct. Correct. And the first one, Ms. Blackshear, is really all about setting our seniors up for success. So it is totally different
Yeah.
from
I
okay.
really like that first one,
I got you. Okay. Any other
the
questions?
virtual feel.
As we begin to forecast and prepare for faculty and staff at the end of this month for our upcoming school year, this would be a direct relation to academic coaches to me. When you start talking pacing guides, when you start talking about implementation of PLs and teacher support, are we looking to increase our number of academic coaches throughout the district?
Well, Dr. Buller asked that same question on yesterday. This is just my personal thought as the teaching and learning person. I don't see a need for additional instructional coaches because we need to develop the ones that we have. And then we also need to develop our assistant principals of instruction because our principals and assistant principals, they are instructional leaders. And so with them being instructional leaders, it's all about development. And so I think it would be wise for us to develop the staff members that we already have before we bring on new people.
Okay.
Because we have teachers in the building that I see great potential in becoming future leaders in this district or even becoming future instructional coaches. But while they are teachers, we will provide them leadership opportunities to prepare them for their next level of work.
Thank you. I am familiar with Dr. Holmes and Fully Engaged Education. This is a great opportunity. In saying that, because we have developed and put some effort, it seems, as of last year into this year, into the Department of Curriculum and Instruction under your leadership, these opportunities are great. The question is, because I know that we'll be looking not as an information item, we'll be looking for an action item in the very near future, in just 2 weeks. In saying that, this is a heavy implementation, considering that the things that have been implemented within the past year. The great opportunities that have been implemented, some that we're still working through. Ms. Reardon works well in this department for some years, and we just start looking at our full staff, kind of gauging. We don't see that we have an in-house person that can do some of this work, the majority of it.
Good question. Right now, we have limited veteran staff.
Okay, very true.
And we want to keep our staff in place. And so with that, the teaching profession is very stressful. And so when we start layering on work on our veterans with experience, it can sometimes burn them out. So the thought is we all have multiple areas we're working on, and it's a limited amount of us. So if we want to do it well, we want to make sure that we're not burning out our veteran staff, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we're developing our new staff. And with our new staff, it's a little different because when I became a teacher, I had a whole student teaching experience. I was at some schools for a while. I had a chance to lead the teaching, but a lot of times that's just not the workforce that we have right now. And so with that, you know, it's just gonna take some other expertise to help us get that going. Now, my belief with a consultant is not one where we need this person for a long time. Let me say that, because I don't believe you should have a consultant for years and years and years and years. But I take consultants seriously because I believe that whoever you get, they have to be a person who can help you build capacity with teachers and leaders. And, you know, if you just look at his bio, I do think that, you know, he's worth the investment to help us get going. And I think we have teachers and leaders, because when I think about our leaders, it's just about just building their capacity. And once we continue to build their capacity, we won't need them. It's just like a baby being on a bottle. As time goes on, you wean that baby off the bottle. So that's where we are right now.
Thank you. Great response. Realistic. I want to say this, as we have had some dialogue about this in the past. This could very well, again, look like some other opportunities that we spent a high dollar on in our past, and we've asked previously, what does that current relationship look like as we spent some good money in travel for those individuals to come down as consultants, and we don't see a return on our investment, and that's just being very candid. What I would like to do or like to see is a presentation from where we are with those previous consultants, and what is our return on our investment there? Not that that is a direct relation of what this opportunity holds. What I would love to see is maybe talk about the time. I'm glad you addressed that. Maybe some summer opportunity for those months coming to do some development and survey those who are developing and seeing if this is a good investment for the district to continue as these, because we've had, and I have to tell a full story in order for stakeholders and myself and for the board to really buy into other opportunities as we vote on stakeholders' finances. When you look at our history in senior administration, it looks as if we throw out the old, purchase the new, and it's a cycle, and there's no elevation. There is some elevation in our district. Let me be clear. We want to make sure that we make some good decisions, as we have some great partners that Dr. Bullard has brought to the table and that we bought into and have bought into the district. We want to make sure that we continue this area, but when it comes to the consulting in this department, because I know that you are good at what you do, and you have a legacy of that, I want to make sure that we everybody's burnt out. I do get that, but we want to make sure that we make the good, right decision for our district, as our enrollment is not up, our graduation rates are not up, and maybe this would help that. But in this time, it's just a good conversation that we need to further with the board to see if this is something that's really good, because the time is of the essence, and we are in that month where these decisions are critical. So, thank you, Dr. Griffin Stewart.
Right, thank you.
All right. Business agenda item E, GPS tracking, student tracking for the school bus. Information item being presented by Chief Earl Waller. Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Bullard, Board Chair Harris,
Proceed.
Vice Chair Rouse, board members, members of the community joining us virtually and in person. All right, today I'm going to be presenting to you all about real-time GPS tracking for our transportation department. Before I get into my presentation, I want to tell you our mission and our vision here for Tweeds County Public Schools. Our vision is to generate excellence, one team, one goal. Our mission is to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to complete globally. Before we get into the GPS part, I just want to let y'all know how proud we are of our 2022 fleet. Thanks to the decision makers and the leaders in the community or in the district, we were able to upgrade our school buses. We have a lot more newer school buses, upgraded technology, the ventilation system, upgraded cameras, and it's thanks to you all that we have all that, and we're very proud of our fleet. As a transportation department, our mission for Tweeds County Public Schools is to provide safe, professional, efficient transportation for students to and from school and all extracurricular activities. As a department, we strive to be innovative and provide our students and community with the best possible service within reason. So what are the next steps to improving service and efficiency for our transportation department? Earlier this year, we had some inclement weather to come in unexpectedly. Dr. Bullard called me early in the morning, and I also spoke with the EMA director early in the morning. We ended up having to postpone the start of school, and Dr. Bullard was concerned that this would cause problems for the parents and it would be inconvenience to the parents and the students. And he wanted to know a more efficient way for something like this to happen in the future. How would we deal with that? Well, this is the answer to that problem. It's the future of transportation for school bus systems. It's real-time GPS tracking. What is real-time GPS tracking? And how do school systems utilize this for transportation department? GPS, Global Position System, are comparable tracking location technology that uses navigational satellites to determine the location and velocity in real time. So we know where our school bus is at in real time and what speed the bus is traveling in real time. The GPS tracking system allows for the school system and parents to gain visibility, safety, and to control into the GPS location of the school buses along the route, departure times, arrival times, and to different stops. Keep in mind, administration would have a different access than parents. The parents will pretty much, they will only know when the school bus arrives and departs from the school, and when the school bus is a certain time or distance away from their pickup location. As the school system, we'll know where that bus is at all times, how fast that bus is going at all times, and depending on what vendor, if you all decide to move forward, we can even have access to a live camera feed into the bus while it's in motion. So what are the benefits of real-time tracking live GPS for school buses? The benefits are you get a real-time tracking system and access to the location and information in real time. It ensures driver accountability and responsibility. They know that we can tap into that camera or see where they're going, the speed they're traveling at any time. Also, depending on what vendor you're going with, you also get that same accountability from students, knowing that their teachers can be watching them anytime they're on the school bus. It ensures compliance with traffic rules, adherence to speed limits. It ensures for better quality scheduling and anticipated delays, and a reduction of resource and time wastage. So when I was putting this presentation together, I reached out to my counterparts in our surrounding districts to see what they thought about real-time GPS tracking and if they were utilizing it. I spoke with the transportation departments from Bibb County, Houston County, Jones County, and Wilkinson County, and this is what I found. Bibb County is currently using a real-time GPS tracking system and some version of the parent app. Houston County also is utilizing real-time GPS tracking with some version of the parent app. Jones County has recently, their transportation has recently proposed to get real-time GPS tracking to their board and their superintendent, and they're hoping that they're able to get that. Wilkinson County currently has the equipment and the tracking capabilities. However, they're not currently utilizing that, and I think that's due to a shortage of staff in the transportation department. So our first vendor is Gatekeeper. And if you're not familiar with Gatekeeper, we currently, all our buses are equipped with Gatekeeper cameras. To equip 13 school buses with real-time GPS tracking with Gatekeeper, the total cost comes out to $23,425. The bulk of that fee or that charge is they would have to upgrade our DVRs. The DVR on the school bus is the main component that allows for GPS tracking, and also it records the camera footage. So they would have to upgrade those to allow for real-time GPS tracking. They'll provide cellular modules for 13 buses and allow for cellular connectivity, installation again of the upgraded DVRs, and the implementation cost of Gatekeeper GPS and the parent app. They would also train admin staff and parents on how to utilize the app. With Gatekeeper, some of the benefits with Gatekeeper is that's where we would be able to access the camera systems in real time. At any point on the route, we would be able to access the cameras. Also, daily, when the bus comes to a certain location, whether it be at the school or the bus shop, all the data from the camera dumps into a database that we can access at any time. Currently now, if we have to look at a video, I physically have to go to a bus, pull an SD card, and that's how we're able to view the videos now. This would dump all the data daily. That will be stored indefinitely. As it is now, every 2 weeks, the cameras start to record over themselves. So that would just save administrators so much time in resolving issues on the bus. I mean, the data will be right there at our fingertips whenever we need it at the drop of a dime instead of taking a couple hours to go retrieve it and review video. Our second vendor is VFI Solutions. Their software is a little different. It has different pros and different cons. They have the real-time GPS tracking. They have an upgraded routing software and fleet management diagnostic tools where if we go with VFI, it lets the shop know when the bus needs an oil change, when fuel is low. You can customize it to do timesheets, field trip management. There's also a safety button on the VFI. If there's an emergency, you hit the button, it automatically tells you where the bus's location, all that pertinent information. However, with the VFI, you do not have, their GPS system is not compatible with our camera systems. So you won't be able to look into the cameras. However, with VFI, as opposed to Gatekeeper, VFI tracks the individual student. The students actually scan, each individual student scans onto a bus. With Gatekeeper, it tracks the bus, not the student. The total cost for VFI, hold on. So with VFI, you get the live GPS tracking. You can add timesheets, advanced routing. It comes with the safety button, the fleet maintenance diagnostic tool, and the parent app. So again, the pros to Gatekeeper. All of our buses are already outfitted with Gatekeeper cameras. Everything will be compatible. It comes with a daily automatic data download of camera footage. It has the school bus tracking app, which is available to the parents. Again, it's just going to track the school bus. It's not going to track the individual student. And it allows for administration to view the cameras in real time. With the upgraded DVRs, it also comes with a better quality of camera footage. The cons to Gatekeeper, you know, the DVRs must be upgraded, which comes at a higher cost expense to the district. Again, the school bus tracking app allows the parents to track the school bus, not the parent. Not the student. Gatekeeper's total cost to initially implement is $23,425. The annual fee after that is roughly about $2,300 annually per year after that initial cost. With VFI, their pros is you get an upgraded routing software. Parents and administration can track individual students. They also provide a free pilot for 2 buses for 2 routes. It comes at a lower initial cost to the district. The cons is their software is not compatible with our camera systems, so we won't be able to access the cameras in real time. VFI's total cost of their initial implementation is $11,414. However, their reoccurring fee the years after that is $4,992. So it comes at a higher price after that initial cost. But those are the pros and cons. If you do, y'all have any questions?
Chief Waller, thank you for a great presentation. Question, how often is it that you have to track buses or should have to track buses? Give me a case scenario.
That we actually have to track an individual bus?
Correct.
If they're not answering the radio, if a parent calls and says their kid didn't get off the bus, you know, the buses transport kids all over the state of Georgia. Mm-hmm. We haven't had a situation yet where a bus we're not able to get a hold of a driver, but I mean, it's a possibility.
Okay. Mm-hmm. How many routes do we run daily?
13.
13 routes. Mm-hmm. How many buses?
13.
Okay, so we run 13 buses, 13 routes daily. Okay, and that's total?
Total.
Morning and afternoon?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in the morning, that's how many?
13.
13 in the morning and 13?
13 in the afternoon, with 1 going to Bibb County.
Okay, so 13 routes daily. We have 13 buses. How many buses are not in use?
We have about 6 spare buses.
Okay. Those are new buses or just buses in reserve?
Those are buses in reserve. They're older buses.
Okay.
We have the oldest bus we have on our regular fleet is about 10 years old.
tell me
which
this.
is
and-
excellent.
Okay. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Say that again.
Which is excellent. In the past, we've had buses that were almost 20 years old.
Yeah, a couple of bond buses in the past, so we doing
were.
pretty good on that. In reference to the GPS per student, if we had to pick apart this opportunity, what two pieces or what one piece would you see would be most important or vital to our district?
And I didn't make my recommendation. I would personally go with the gatekeeper. The individual tracking may work a little better for the older students. With the younger students, I don't know how that would work with them scanning on and off the bus. Probably somebody would have to do it for them. With us being able to, I would much rather have access to the cameras while the bus is moving than knowing if a kid scanned on or off a bus. Because if we had to look into a bus and we could just pull the cameras and see exactly who's on that bus and what's going on, I think that makes more sense and has more value.
Yeah. So anything is possible. However,
Absolutely.
our students don't have anywhere to skip or not get on the school bus. Our parents watch from the window. We don't have an issue in the past. I can't tell you currently if we've been looking for a student.
We've had issues where kids don't get on the bus
Okay.
after school and they're at a game or they go to a friend's house, and it's a serious thing because in that moment you don't know what's going on. And our main goal is to, now we got to backtrack and see where the student is, did they get on the bus, and how we're currently doing it is word of mouth. All I can do is call a bus driver. I can't look at video, and sometimes that can be difficult.
Timing.
With this and safety-wise, because when
Absolutely.
when a kid goes missing, every second is impertinent. You know, the quicker we can figure out where this kid went, the quicker we can come to a resolution. So, I mean, that is an invaluable tool.
Good point. Do you see years to come our students being consistent with this card replacements, logging, scanning in, getting off?
With the card, they will lose the cards. They may even swap cards around where you're going to have a hard time tracking them once they kind of figure out how that works. With the camera system, there's no question. I can see every student that got on that bus in real time. And not only myself, but the principals will also have access to this.
Okay. So your idea is to be able to watch.
Look into the school
Look
bus.
into the school buses. If you had to pull a piece out, that would be most important in
And
this season.
in some of the conferences I went to in the past, they've kind of hinted at that if an emergency happened on the school bus, how would we handle that? This would give you a tool where you would be one step ahead of the game. You can see exactly what's going on the bus in real time. Should the worst case scenario happen, you know, we have access to the cameras on the school bus.
Okay.
I would think it would be comparable to the school building itself. Would you rather the kids scan into the building, or would you rather be able to look at the cameras and see what's going on in the building?
In the same
In-
same situation
exactly.
because of the time that it would take to do that. Okay. If you had to gauge the time, you shared a little bit about the time that it takes you to go to the bus, pull the card, watch it. How often does that practice take place?
Daily.
Okay.
Daily,
Okay.
mainly at JES.
Okay.
Yeah. And depending on where the bus is, it could be parked in Danville somewhere, it can be parked, you know, I have to physically go to that bus, pull that SD card, you know, then we have to look at the footage. Then I have to try to get that SD card back on the bus before the buses leave. And when you have 3 or 4 different bus videos that you got to look at, sometimes there's validity to what happened, sometimes there's not, but we still have to look at the cameras and do our due diligence. It would just save us so much time.
So you're saying that this would give principals access if
The principals on a daily basis, they deal with transportation disciplinary issues, takes up a good part of their day, at least the assistant principals. So this would be saving hours a week that they could be focusing on learning and instead of discipline on the school buses.
Do we have any bus monitors? I know you said you have to go to kind of constantly. Do we have? any
I'm the
bus-
only one that can open the slot to get to the cameras, just myself and Ron. our foreman.
I'm saying anyone riding the bus with the bus driver to help kind of monitor the kids.
Right now, we have, you know, it's mandatory that we have aides on our special need buses, and we have a driver in training that's acting as an aide now on one bus.
Is it the same bus that you're getting a lot of, that you have to do a lot of, give a lot of attention to?
It's
or is it
just like
varies?
it's just like the building. It can, disciplinary
Sure.
issues happen can happen on any route on any given day. There's not really a consistency
Okay.
to it.
Okay. One other thing, with the tracking device, and it's, I know you said tracking students, so I was just wondering with the tracking devices, will it help our insurance at all with?
I'm sure it would. I'm sure it would. Just because I think the drivers would adhere to, if I get a call, and they know that we're tracking them real time, because every now and then you'll get a call from somebody in the community saying the driver's doing this or doing that, and they know I can just pull the camera up and then call them on the radio. I think that the insurance company would possibly look at that.
Thank you.
We did have a bus delayed yesterday at railroad track there at Dry Branch.
That's correct.
And,
Three buses were delayed there.
oh, Lord, well, I know one was, but that would give us the
As a parent,
answer to
you wouldn't have to call me. You know, okay, the bus left at this time.
Yeah.
And when it comes within, and we can set it how far out we want it. When your bus comes with your child within a mile of your house, you'll get a ping on your app, the bus is 5 minutes away, or the bus is 2 miles away.
Okay.
So, I mean, that would cut down on parents calling, and they can track it themselves. Or if they call us, we can say, well, ma'am, because we'll get phone calls, oh, the bus didn't come by this morning. Well, I can pull that up. Well, ma'am, we came by, we stayed for 5 minutes, and the bus driver opened the door. Nobody came out. And so that's another advantage to it. It just streamlines daily operations, and it saves time all across the board with your administrators, with the transportation department.
Mr. Chairman,
Proceed, Mr. Vice Chair.
I'd like to say, I think it's a good idea, for safety reasons and for concern of parents and the administrator. I'm quite sure, like, you have disciplinary problems probably on the bus, kids fighting, you know, you don't know, you know, but this way you know, you could see it and probably help discipline because they know that they're being watched, you know? So
Yes, sir.
I'd like the idea.
Not only will they know that they're being watched, but they'll know that they're being watched real time.
Yeah.
That's a big difference right there. I can be on the phone with somebody's parent and say, ma'am, I'm looking at your child right now, and he's pulling little Susan's hair as we speak. And again, I think in the future, more departments than not will have at some point are going to implement this. Everybody around us has already done it.
Great presentation and great responses. Chief Waller, what I'd like to see in the board's second hearing of this presentation is the overall cost, as you've given us in some sense, but if we did the fleet of buses that we currently are looking at or utilizing, that full fleet used daily, or our full inventory, if you do it at large, and then the cost of each installment as we continue to purchase new buses. So when we buy a new bus, we automatically add it. Buy a new bus, we need to know the ongoing, because we'll forget. We say, oh, well, we put it on all the bus. Well, 6 years, you got 6 new buses, because we may have bond buses. We need to know the cost, so at minimal, we'll know what we're looking at per installment.
And moving forward with that, we utilize gatekeeper cameras. They've been excellent with us. They have a very fast response time. Every bus we purchase moving forward is going to have this upgraded DVR system that we need to get now. They're not making the old ones anymore, so moving forward, we're still going to have to purchase these.
Okay.
Anytime you get a new bus, you're going to have to get that upgraded DVR. So are we paying for it now, or you want to pay for it down the road? Eventually, if you want to keep cameras on the bus, we're going to have to get those DVRs anyway. So.
Yeah, well, I'm reminded as a student when Mr. James Basley would take up the early morning from 7:30 to about 10:30, writing up people for bus issues. So if this helps our staff, our administrators in the school building, minimize that discipline piece, it's more than important. And the safety piece. I do like the fact that parents can see where the bus is. Sometimes in inclement weather that happens, and yeah, just you never know. Good opportunity. The cost isn't something that is concerning when it comes to safety, which cost is never an issue when you're talking safety of our scholars. So thank you for a great presentation. Yes, and we'll take this under advisement. As we know that Dr. Bullitt has already, I don't even have to ask his recommendation of this, but we'll seek his recommendation once we bring it back before the body. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
How long do you think it'll take to, after we approve this?
If it's approved before the summer, the whole fleet could be done in July, before the start of school.
Okay.
Thank you. Great question, Ms. Stokes. All right. Business agenda item F. We are at district request. This is an action item being presented by our superintendent, Dr. Mac H. Buller.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, board members, staff, and family that are with us in person and those that are with us virtually. We do have field trip request as well as a fundraising request that we'd like for the Board of Education to consider for approval on tonight. The field trip request at the elementary school, the 5th grade and advisors, Mr. Dorizio Harris, Ms. Evans, and Ms. Wiley, are interested in taking the 5th grade students Monday through Friday, March the 21st through 25th, to the Starbase Robins at Museum of Aviation in Warner Robins, Georgia. And this is in support of the 5th grade science standards. 5th grade students will travel each day during that week upon your approval to this Museum of Aviation, again, to deepen their experiences and give them a relevant experience in reference to the 5th grade science standards. Also, Ms. Capice and Mrs. Mack would like to take 2nd grade students from JES on a field trip to the Jimmy Carter National Historic Site, and this is in support of the social studies standards for 2nd grade, and that will be on the 21st of April, and that's a one-day trip. And our graduation coach, Ms. Eason, is working with our seniors, and they would like to take a senior graduation appreciation night trip to Six Flags Over Georgia, and that will be on Friday night, May the 6th. They want to stay until the park closes. So, and then they'll come home at the end of the evening in celebration of the conclusion of their senior year. They would like to go to Six Flags Over Georgia. In reference to fundraisers, Ms. Erica Williams in our program for exceptional children is asking your approval tonight for a Cobra cookie shop where their students will sell cookies from Tuesday, March the 1st through April the 29th, which is a Friday, and the money that is earned from the cookie sales will be to fund the community-based instruction trips and their end-of-year activities for the 2022 school year. That concludes our fundraiser and field trip request on tonight.
Board members, we've heard the superintendent's recommendation for field trips and fundraisers. I have a motion to approve.
I have one question.
Proceed.
With the seniors, I know we have just got the one advisor that's going to be just one person, one adult.
There'll be far more than one.
Okay.
She's just,
All right.
yes, she's
That's
just
fine.
presenting it on their behalf, but
All right,
yes,
good, good.
absolutely. There'll be far more than one adult traveling with them on that trip.
Senior night. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'd like to make the motion to approve the field trip and fundraiser request.
Motion been properly made by Ms. Blackshear to accept the superintendent's recommendation for field trip and fundraiser request.
Second.
Second by Ms. King. Any discussion? No discussion. I know you by saying aye. Raise your hand if you approve this motion. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposes? No opposes. That motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Dr. Bullard.
You're welcome. Thank you, board members.
Dr. Bullard,
Yes, sir.
it looks as if we exhausted our business agenda for tonight. Am I accurate?
Yes, sir.
All right. Board members, do we have any questions? Anything that has appeared on our business agenda for tonight? Seeing none, may I have a motion to enter into executive session?
So moved.
Motions are properly made by Ms. King. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chair Rouse. Any discussion? No discussion. I know by saying aye, raising your hand, you approve this motion. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposes? No opposes. That motion carries unanimously. Board members, we are now in executive session. Good evening again, Tweaks County. Thank you to our in-person and online viewers. We have returned from executive session. At this time, may I have a motion to exit executive session and enter into public session?
So moved.
Motion been properly made by Ms. Baxter. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vice Chair Rouse. Any discussion? Again, this motion is to approve the board to exit executive session and enter public session. All in favor, I know you by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? No opposed. That motion carries unanimously. Board, we're now back into public session. At this time, I will entertain a motion to receive the superintendent's recommendations as presented before us tonight. Tonight, we have recommendations for new hire, CID 3282, CID 3278, 4472, 4470, 4451. At this time, I'll call for a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation for approval for position of bus driver, full-time, Jeffersonville Elementary School teacher, Jeffersonville Elementary School teacher, Jeffersonville Elementary School teacher, and Jeffersonville Elementary School paraprofessional. At this time, I'll ask for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make the motion to approve the new hires that's recommended by the superintendent.
The motion has been properly made by Ms. Baxter to accept the superintendent's recommendation for all of our new hires presented before us tonight. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vice Chair Rouse. Any discussion? No discussion. I know you by saying aye, raising your hand if you approve this motion. Aye. Any opposers? No opposers. That motion carries unanimously. Again, we have accepted tonight's recommendation from our superintendent to receive all new hires. Congratulations to all of our new hires. At this time, I would like to point our attention into the direction of recommendations for renewal for our district administrators. At this time, I will ask for a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation for all renewal of administrators for our district as presented before us tonight.
So moved.
It has been properly motioned and accepted by Ms. King that we accept the position of current administrators for renewals as listed before us tonight on our docket. May I have a second?
Second.
Properly second by Vice Chair Rouse. Any discussion? Again, this motion to approve all administrators for renewal as presented before us tonight on the superintendent's recommendation. All in favor, I know you by saying aye. Aye. Any opposers? No opposers. That motion carries unanimously. Board members, we have reviewed and heard the superintendent's recommendations for new hires, for transfer of part-time or substitute to full-time positions, as well as renewal recommendations as presented before us. Have I omitted anything on our executive session docket for tonight as presented before us by our great superintendent, Dr. Matt Bullard?
No, you haven't.
Thank you, Vice Chair Rouse. Dr. Bullard, has this meeting address all issues, personnel recommendations, or district requests and business agenda items presented before us tonight, March 8th, 2022?
Mr. Chair, we have covered all business agenda items for tonight's board meeting.
Thank you, Dr. Bullard. At this time, I'll ask for a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
Motion has been proudly made by Ms. Stokes. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by District 3, Ms. Rhonda King. Any discussion? No discussion. I know you by saying aye, raising your hand. Again, this motion to approve tonight's adjournment. Aye. No opposers. That motion carries unanimously. Good night, Tweaks County.